Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Queen Agaba. We sincerely apologize for the delay in bringing you the News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nightcomsat. The lawmaker representing Irele Okitikpupa Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Jimmy Odimayo, has commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for the peaceful conduct of Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State. Odimayo, after casting his vote at his Legumere Unit 001 Anglican Primary School, Ward 3, Irele, in the Irele local government area of the state, praised the efforts of the Electoral Commission in ensuring a smooth process. The Independent National Electoral Commission has uploaded 51.41% of the results from the Ondo governorship election to its results viewing portal. Results from 2022 out of the 3,933 polling units where elections were held in the state have been successfully transmitted, with more than 1.7 million permanent voter cards collected. Candidates from various parties, including the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Lucky Aiyedatiwa and his closest rival Agbola Ajayi of the People's Democratic Party, are battling for the government house in the state. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State has expressed optimism about seamless conduct of the electoral process currently taking place in the state. The governor, who is also the All Progressives Congress gubernatorial candidate, stated while speaking with journalists after casting his vote at polling unit 5, Ugbo Ward 4 in Ilaje local government area. He commended the organization and efficiency at the polling station, noting that the process was both orderly and transparent. Governor Aiyedatiwa also addressed concerns over accessibility of voters, urging that all eligible voters be granted a fair opportunity to exercise their democratic rights. The governor praised the security agencies for their effective handling of potential threats during the election process, highlighting that Ondo State remains one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria. He praised the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for a well-organized election process, especially the timely arrival of officials and election materials at his and other polling units. Meanwhile, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ondo governorship election, Agbola Ajayi, has scored the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) low in the conduct of the exercise. Agbola, who is one of the leading candidates in the election, cast his ballot at polling unit 004, Apoy Ward 2, Kiribo in Eseado local government area of the state. He alleged that the slow pace of the election process was a ploy to rig the exercise. Addressing journalists after casting his ballots, the PDP candidate said the system is not perfect as it took more than 10 minutes for him to be captured, adding that there were many complaints. A former Quartermaster General, Nigerian Army and High Chief in Ikale, retired Major General Olu Bajowa, has urged all parties to accept the outcome of the 2024 governorship election in Ondo State. Bajowa said this in an interview with the newsmen shortly after casting his votes at Unit 6, Ward 1, Igbotako, Okitikpupa local government area. Bajowa, the Jagumolu of Ikale land, commended the peaceful conduct of the election, which he described as impressive, with large turnout of voters without any records of snatching of ballot boxes and hooliganism anywhere. He added that the large turnout of voters and peaceful conduct of the Ondo State governorship election indicated that democracy was gradually taking a strong footing in Nigeria, stressing, however, that the outcome of the election must be accepted by all parties. Still on Ondo elections, operatives of the Department of State Services have reportedly arrested a suspected voter in the ongoing election in Ondo State. He was arrested at Ward 4, polling unit 007 outside St. Stephen's Primary School, Akure, Ondo State. According to the report, the suspect was apprehended with 2 bags of money meant to be used to induce the voters during the ongoing election. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, Olamilekan Adeola, urged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to consider alternative means of identification to prevent voter disenfranchisement. The lawmaker representing Ogun West Senatorial District praised the use of national identity numbers and driver's license as voter identification at the ongoing Ogun State local government election, calling it a strategy to prevent voter disenfranchisement and ensure everyone can participate. He stressed that accepting multiple forms of ID for voting will make the electoral process more inclusive and transparent. Yayi, who voted at the UAMC polling unit in Pahayi Laru, noted that INEC can address challenges associated with permanent voters card and promote a smoother voting experience for Nigerians by exploring alternative identification methods. President Bola Tinubu is to host Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on a state visit at the presidential villa in Abuja on Sunday. According to a statement by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, Modi's visit to Nigeria will be the first by an Indian Prime Minister since Dr. Manmohan Singh's state visit in 2007, when the two nations established a strategic partnership. According to the statement, President Tinubu and Prime Minister Modi will seek to strengthen Nigeria's and India's ties further during their bilateral discussions. Both leaders will exchange signed memoranda of understanding to enhance collaboration in critical sectors. The air component of Operation Fasanyama has dismantled a major bandit enclave located within Duya Hills in Batauna Forest in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The Director, Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Olusola Akimboyewa, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Akimboyewa says the strategic airstrikes were conducted on November 12th in furtherance of the intense air interdiction campaign in Northwest, nicknamed Operation Farauta Mujiya. The Nigerian Navy of the Oguta Naval Base has brought healthcare services to Oshobodo community in Oguta local government area of Imo State. Global TV's Imo correspondent Amarachi Ibe has more.
This is St. Michael's Secondary School in Oguta local government area of Imo State, the venue of the medical outreach put together by Nigerian Navy to provide critical health services to the community. The commander of Oguta Naval Base, Mohammed Bashiru, represented by Okeme Anthony, executive officer, says the outreach is not just about medical checkups, but focuses on building trust with the community.
In line with the Nigerian Navy's mandate and the vision of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral E.I. Ogala, the Naval Base Oguta organized this medical outreach to improve a better working relationship with the good people of Oshobodo community here in Imo State, as well as also enhance our corporate social responsibility in our host community. For the past 3 years, and in these 3 years, the relationship has been very good.
The traditional ruler of the community, Alphonsus Uzoma, and the principal of St. Michael's Secondary School, Oguta, thanked the Nigerian Navy for the kind gesture.
I thank the government and the Naval people for this gesture, for the hate of the people. People say hate is wealth, so we are happy. And I think they say let it be annual, so that the hate of the people will improve.
Impressed, and they pray that they continue to repeat this almost every term. I'm highly impressed.
Highlights of the event include health education, seizing on body care and preventive health, as well as screening for blood pressure and blood sugar levels. The Nigerian Navy team also distributed insecticide-treated nets, free medication, and provided medical consultations. The Nigerian Navy Oguta Naval Base has not only extended a hand in protecting our nation's waters, but has also demonstrated a commitment to the health and well-being of Oshobodo community. From Oshobodo community in Oguta local government area of Imo State, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV.
The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has appealed to market women across Nigeria to refrain from undue increase in prices of food items as the youth-out draws nearer. The First Lady made the appeal at the 2024 Ebonyi Women's Day celebration held at the Pangele Oruta Township Stadium, Abakaliki. She pleaded with the market women, especially with the youth-out season fast approaching, to refrain from unfair hike in prices of food items during the festive season. The Kaduna State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Agency has said intending pilgrims for 2025 are required to pay a minimum deposit of 8.4 million naira by December 31st, 2024. The agency's public relations officer Yunusa Mohammed Abdullahi, who disclosed this in Kaduna, says the registration process is now open across all the 23 local government areas of the state. He emphasized the importance of strict adherence to registration guidelines by local government registration offices. This is just as the agency announced the commencement of registration for the 2025 Hajj pilgrimage on the state, explaining that to accommodate the unique circumstances of farmers, the agency had implemented a flexible payment plan. He says as the Hajj season approached, the agency urged all intending pilgrims to initiate the registration process promptly and adhere to the established guidelines. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed has disclosed the release of 130 million naira to the state organizing committee of the 39th edition of the state Quranic recitation competition. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the competition in Jamare local government area of the state, the governor noted the government's support as an effort to inculcate the habit of Quranic memorization among youths of the state. Represented by the Speaker, Bauchi State House of Assembly, Abubakar Sulaiman, the governor stated that the history of the Quranic recitation competition in Nigeria cannot be completed without Bauchi State, considering the record performance of the state indigene who excel in various competitions, home and abroad. You're watching News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, federal government plans manufacturing of vehicle spare parts. Details of this, as well as foreign and sports stories, coming right after this break. Please stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. If you've just joined us, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle. In business, the federal government, through the National Automotive Design and Development Council, says it has put in place the necessary structures and frameworks to begin the manufacturing of 10 essential vehicle spare parts locally. The NADDC Director General, Joseph Osanikpe, in a statement, disclosed this as an event to conclude a 2-week training of auto engineers and software automotive design in Abuja. He says such move will help reduce the country's dependence on spare parts imports, which currently gulps $1 billion annually. The training boot camp, which focused on Midas NFX software for automotive design skills, was organized in collaboration with Midas IT Co. of South Korea. Documenting fuel importations have indicated that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) Limited and oil marketers imported 1.5 million metric tons of premium motor spirit (PMS), or 2 billion liters in 42 days. The fuel imports, which took place between October 1st and November 11th, 2024, also saw 414 million and 18,764 metric tons of diesel and 13,500 metric tons of jet fuel imported over the period. Using a conversion rate of 1,164 liters per metric ton for diesel, approximately 500 million liters of diesel were imported, with 17 million liters of jet fuel also brought in, using the conversion rate of 1,250 liters per metric ton for jet fuel. The continued importation of refined petroleum products, including petrol, diesel, and aviation fuel, has raised controversies in the industry. On the foreign scene, the Palestinian government has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's support and called on other world leaders to ensure concerted efforts to end the war in Gaza. The Palestinian envoy to Nigeria, Abdallah Abdul Shawesh, made this remark at a media interactive session with media professionals in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Anthony Mamadou reports from the Palestinian embassy here in Abuja.
The Palestinian ambassador, Abdullah Abu Shawesh, says the call by one of Africa's most respected leaders was a strong indication of Africa's backing to end the carnage in Gaza and the Middle East. He described such a call as an indication of support from the African continent.
He declared it a few days ago in the Arab Islamic Summit in Saudi Arabia. It came from the important and the heavy political weight of Nigeria itself. Nigeria have, of course, a very heavy political weight all around the world. And once the top official of Nigeria to say something like this, all the world, of course, will take it into consideration, especially the African continent. They will. We know that many of African country is taking Nigeria as one of the leaders of their political moves.
Abdullah said despite the call by the acting United Nations Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Joyce Musia, for the United Nations Security Council to act fast to end the carnage, the United States remains the clog in the wheel of achieving peace in Gaza via its abuse of its veto power.
The Security Council, or are the Security Council member able to move or to take any step forward to put an end to this carnage? Yes, if and only if the United States of America remove its hand and stop using the veto. And unfortunately, during the last 13 months, we all witness how many times did the United States of America use the veto power.
In the coming months, the occupied West Bank will be in the eye of the storm. Israel intends to extend its sovereignty over it, believing that the upcoming U.S. administration will support this move. Anthony Momodu reporting.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he would like to end the war with Russia next year through a diplomatic means as both countries prepare for Donald Trump's return to the White House. Zelensky stated this in an interview, saying that on their part, they must do everything they can to ensure that the war ends next year. Zelensky spoke a day after saying the war will end sooner than it otherwise would have done once Donald Trump becomes president, and a day after Russian President Vladimir Putin held his first phone call with a major Western leader. February 2025 would mark the third anniversary of Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, with Russia's troops gaining ground in recent months against Kyiv's outmanned and outgunned soldiers. One of U.S. President Donald Trump's cabinet picks has become controversial as police reveal Pete Hegseth, tapped for Defense Secretary earlier this week, was accused of sexual assault in 2017. Although no charges were filed in the case, but shocked Trump transition team officials are nonetheless reportedly weighing next steps for the Fox News host, whose nomination took many in Washington by surprise. President-elect Donald Trump nominated the 44-year-old National Guard veteran to run the world's most powerful military, despite having never managed a large organization. But the police in Monterey, California, confirmed that they had investigated an alleged sexual assault at a hotel involving Hegseth that included bruising to the victim's right thigh in early October 2017. In sports, Super Eagles coach Augustine Eguavoen has excused first-choice goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali from Monday's final 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON qualifying match against Rwanda due to the loss of his father. Team administrator Dayo Enebi Anko confirmed the decision, stating that he has been excused from the game. However, the player will come to watch the match and cheer his teammates on. The Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali announced the death of his father via Instagram, sharing a heartfelt tribute accompanied by a tearful emoji expressing his grief. Nwabali, however, did not disclose the cause of his father's death. Boxing legend Mike Tyson and rising star Jake Paul reflected on their dramatic encounter, which ultimately favored Paul. Tyson's return to the ring against Jake Paul ended with a unanimous decision victory for the YouTuber turned boxer. Despite the one-sided nature of the fight, Tyson ruled out retirement, insisting he is not done with the sport. Meanwhile, Paul revealed his vulnerability, admitting that he was scared during the bout, despite dominating the 8-round contest. And that's it on the news cycle, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, on Star Times channel 276, and free to air on Nigecomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.